Hello everyone, hope you're having an excellent day today. I'm doing pretty good. Today I have something very unusual to show you guys. It's definitely not my norm. I guess technically this does qualify as a mock. I would say only barely though. Normally I like to see a more substantial amount of pieces and customization involved. However, all these figures are uniquely mixed and matched. You have some pieces added to these creatures and changed up quite a bit. So I think it does qualify as a mock, my own creation. The theme is also unusual too. It is Star Wars, and I know what you guys are probably thinking. Mark, you've never done any Star Wars before, never even talked about it. I would consider myself a casual Star Wars fan, but I enjoy all the movies, and I also enjoy most of the TV shows. I haven't seen all of them yet. I can name most of the characters, the major characters I'm pretty aware of. You kind of have to be if you work at a Lego store and you sell a lot of Star Wars minifigures. So yes, I definitely enjoy the Star Wars theme, even if I only have a handful of sets that belong to that theme. But without further ado, may I present the Grand Gungan Army. Truly an awe-inspiring force to be sure. Now, I'm sure some naysayers will be quick to point out that the Gungans have a less than stellar reputation for overall competence, but I think that by the end of this video, you will also see the truth, which is that the Grand Gungan Army is the best fighting force in the galaxy and quite possibly the entire universe. Let's take a closer look, shall we? The leader of this terrifying battle group is none other than Darth Jar Jar Binks, a character only recently added to the Star Wars canon with the addition of a Disney Plus 4-part series involving the Lego group. And since there's little known about this mysterious and terrifying character, I think it's fair to assume that Darth Jar Jar is in fact the master to Sidious after the death of Darth Plagueis. I think it just makes total sense. Jar Jar has been controlling the strings of the galaxy for a long, long time, and I'm glad Disney and Lego are finally revealing the truth. But since Darth Jar Jar is not available as of recording this video, I had to mock my own figure using a couple different pieces from different themes. The head, of course, is from the Jar Jar Binks figure, or I should say the latest Jar Jar Binks figure that we've gotten. The torso is going to be from Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it's one of the zombie crewman figures that uses that torso originally. However, the torso print really nicely matches the arms from the Jar Jar minifigure. I think it's a nice color combination there. You've also got some, I believe, Sith Trooper legs, which goes well with the dark red color scheme of the overall outfit. It's kind of a close approximation to what we've seen in the pictures and trailers of the new Disney Plus series. However, it's kind of my own thing too. So until I get the actual figure, this is going to work just fine to represent Darth Jar Jar. He is the only Gungan on the table here that is armed with a lightsaber, as is Sith tradition. However, I think you'll find the Gungan weapons are more than a match for most other forces throughout the galaxy. I've also put Darth Jar Jar on a Kadu beast as a cavalry unit, so he can move around the battlefield quicker and be more devastating in his attacks. Next to Jar Jar, we have Roos Tarpals, who is his lieutenant and helps him in his Bombad General activities, and he is also just a Gungan cavalry, very effective at running down fleeing enemies. I would love to see a new Kadu figure. These are from the original 1999 Star Wars sets, but I think they still work in this context. I don't think there's much changes that need to be made there. Next to the Kadu cavalry units, we have some Gungan beast artillery. Lego has never made any Gungan beasts aside from the Kadu, but I think that the mixture of a couple older monster and dinosaur elements really makes some convincing Gungan beasts. We have here the head of the classic Dewback combined with some elements from the older dinosaurs theme from, I think it was the early 2000s. That sand green color really is a nice appearance, and I think that the eyes of the classic Dewback match nicely with the only existing Kadu piece. So I think there's a good combination of creatures there that kind of blend together nicely. On the back of these Gungan beasts, you have some large artillery fixtures placed on top for easy access to enemy troopers who would be in range. So these devices launch these electronically charged spheres, the boomas as the Gungans call them, and those are very effective against droids and other troopers who would face them in battle. It's worth mentioning, at Atlanta BritCon earlier this year, I cunningly acquired, I'm guessing, over 200 of the light blue Zamor spheres from Bionicle sets, and these are a perfect piece to use to represent the Gungan artillery ammunition. And with literally hundreds of shots at their disposal, they will destroy any other minifigures that would dare face them on this table. The Grand Gungan army definitely utilizes a lot of native Naboo species and beasts to aid their main force, which is of course the Gungan shock troopers we have in front of us here. Quickly, you might think, oh, Gungans are clumsy and silly, they're not great warriors. You're completely wrong. Gungans are the most ferocious species to terrorize the galaxy. They stand an average of 7.5 feet tall. They have eyes forward-facing on the top of their heads, perfect for amphibious attacks and ambush attacks. The true mark of a predator and a ferocious warrior and beast. Their large floppy ears might seem like an encumbrance, but actually provides excellent hearing as well as protection to the back of the neck, somewhat like the Roman legionary helmet or the riot shield of modern police units. It helps protect them in melee combat, which is what they specialize in. Like the classic hoplite of old, each Gungan warrior brings his own armor, weapons, and equipment to the battlefield, so they have a different appearance for every individual soldier, and they're all equipped just as they are preferred to fight, resulting in, I think, an ideal form of warfare. Despite the differences in appearances, all Gungan warriors are equipped with a personal energy shield, which utilizes hydrostatic bubble technology to protect against blaster fire and physical weapons. Basically, most everything every other trooper will be using. Each Gungan warrior is also equipped with an electropole, which is a close-quarter electric melee weapon, super effective against droids and regular life forms on the battlefield. I only have 20 Gungan warriors assembled here on this base plate. I'm hoping to acquire more eventually. I'm also contemplating building my own Gungan beasts and Caduceus at some point, using similar colors and somewhat more advanced building techniques. These are kind of prefab pieces. I think it's possible. I've seen some other Lego builders make their own and they look fantastic. I'm hoping to invest more time in this in the future. The main reason I actually created this entire army was to use the Gungans in a game that I play with some of my friends and coworkers, Tank Battles. It's a lot of fun, it's a tabletop game. We do it every couple months now. We used to do it a lot more often, we had more free time. But we're hoping to kick it back into high gear in the future. The Gungans, unfortunately, in their last battle, did not fare well at all. And I would not blame this on their personal fighting ability. I would not blame the Gungans for their failure. However, I would chalk it up to basically the fact that all the other armies on the table were human-based, and they must have been xenophobic and showing hatred towards the Gungan specifically. So there's a lot of challenges to overcome for the Gungan army in future. Basically, it was a slaughter. It was probably something close to genocide. It was awful. But despite the setbacks, I think the Gungans are poised to take over the galaxy, especially with the newfound resurgence under their leader, Darth Jar Jar Binks. Let me know in the comments what you think about this awesome interstellar force. Do you think that the First Order, the Stormtroopers, the Clone Troopers could even hold a candle against them? I want to hear your thoughts. But until then, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.